Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to the next weekly ChronoLogic live stream. First of all, let me know if you hear me. Just put the one in the question box for me, please. Awesome. Okay, I see the response. Nice. Thank you, guys. So yeah, today we're gonna talk, and actually there's gonna be less talking, more showing. So we're gonna go and focus on TimeNode. How to run the TimeNode, and we're gonna do this live on the Common Network and with the software that we build. So hopefully you are as excited as I am. Um, yeah, let's go. So let's before we do that, so let's quick development updates on what we're doing. So as you feel, the mainnet release is coming soon. So we are yeah, it's a matter of weeks basically, and obviously now we are like double checking, double testing everything, and we want to make sure that everything we create is like rock solid, doesn't have any security issues, and so on and so forth. So you might now witness very often updates both on the CLI and the DApp and whatever the libraries we have. It's all about bringing the best possible software to first. One part is a protocol. So we successfully finalized the audit with Bucky. We implemented the changes, and we're gonna soon deploy to the mainnet. And then we're gonna follow up with all the tools. They need some preparation as well. They need to get the new addresses on the mainnet, and so on and so forth. So yeah, so we basically, after 2 weeks of last week we deployed a new DApp. It does contain new .NET TimeNode core library, which have quite a lot of changes, and we're excited about them. They improve the logging, they improve the wallet locking, which means that basically the your operations on the TimeNode should be better and smoother. You should see less errors, less tries that you wanna over front run your own transactions, and so on and so forth. So we put a focus onto this. Okay, so without a further ado, let's just jump straight into live demo. So I'm gonna show you today, how do I run the TimeNode, and all the details. So just put your questions in the question box. If you have any, I will try to answer them live. Let's learn new stuff. So yeah, hold tight, guys. So what we have first is that we are on the that's the familiar should be familiar page for you. So this is my TimeNode. It does have this specific EAC1 prefix, so it's easier for me to to see that's my TimeNode, and so on and so forth. So first of all, the first thing you see that yeah, by the way, do you guys are on the same page as I am, or do we need to get to deattach the wallet and go step by step and achieve get to this point? So just let me know if anyone have the same view. Okay, I see Carlo, you there as well. What about the others? Are you planning to run the TimeNode? I see this is getting crazy. We have like 15 active TimeNodes at the moment. So I do believe that you guys basically yeah. Okay, so one participant asked to do this step by step. I think we can do this very quickly just for him. So it's gonna take us like 1 minute probably. Okay, so first what we need to do in order to deattach, so that might be a good learning for you as well, guys. So if you want to deattach your TimeNode, you just go and click the attach wallet, and then you are on the default screen. So next thing what you wanna do, you have to do is just have your own wallet. We are here redirecting you to the mycrypto.com. So it's not entirely true. I mean, the mycrypto.com does change this, so you can't really create a wallet on this page. Instead, you need to go to your desktop application, my crypto desktop application, in order to create the wallet. So do I need to show you how to create the wallet on my crypto, or you have your own wallet file? So all right, so let's assume that you have your own wallet file. So here is just like, standard thing. You just go and select one of the wallets. Mine was EAC.1. So it should show, the file that you have here. You want to unlock. Next step is that in order to run the TimeNode from the dApp, you need to prove that you own at least some amount of the day tokens. I think it's like 333, something like this. So in order to do that, we need to go to the my crypto page and sign the message and then paste it here. So you need to sign the message from the account that actually now holds the day token. So in my case, I'm gonna use the MetaMask. You can use actually MetaMask with Trezor if you have your day tokens on Trezor. You can use Ledger. You can use you can't really use the Keystore file and the mnemonics as it was previously. If you want to do that, you need to go and download the desktop application. So it looks the same. It does have some additional features enabled. So in here, I'm gonna use the MetaMask because okay, so MetaMask is not connected. Let me unlock it. So I need to provide a password. Yep, we are there. So I did unlock my Kovan network account. I do have like 33,000 day tokens, which is cool. And next thing is just, click to connect. So we are there, and we just need to pick like whatever message here. So I can just say like, TimeNode, and click the sign the message, right? And now we're getting into the signature request screen, and we press sign. And what we get is the JSON file that contains the address, the message, and the signature of the message. So here we know that this address 0x8917 with the suffix 552 EB has the enough amount of the of the day token. So pasting it here, clicking verify, everything is fine. We putting our password to the wallet, and then boom, we here. So you see that I have 33,000. So it actually uses and sees the account that was signed on my crypto, and also we have unlocked wallet. So first problem that we see, and we get the information from the TimeNode, is that our if balance is 0, which means that we can't really operate in the network. Why it's happened? Because when your TimeNode wants to execute or claim the transaction, it does need to have some Ether in order to cover the transaction costs. So it needs to pay for the gas on the Ethereum network. I do believe that you guys are familiar on what's gas and how the Ethereum works. So let's just continue. So I need to just basically top up this account. So that's my address. I'm gonna use again the same actually account that I have on the Kovan to send some Ether to this address. So let's say I'm gonna send like half a Ether, test Ether to this address, right? Let's just push next. Wait a sec. And we should get our Ether here. The balance should change. All right, so okay, it's already there. So now our TimeNode is filled with Ether and basically ready to roll. So first check, guys. So if you go to logs, you should see, as I do, the version 4 to 10, which is the latest and the greatest. So make sure, guys, that you are on the same version as I am. Just please let me know if you see the same. So what's your guys? What's your version of the time nodes? Okay, I see. All right, let's continue then. Okay, so basically we just press start now. Our TimeNode is now running and listening to the new upcoming transactions. So yeah. So in case you are on the older version, make sure you reloaded the page, do the hard reset. Yes, I see some people are on the Electron one. So yeah, Electron hasn't been rebuilt with the newer version. So this version has been deployed like 15 minutes ago, and basically the Electron apps are keep building and not available for the download. So yeah, you can stay on for 2.9. You will see slightly different logs and messages, and your time node may get a little bit worse performance, but it doesn't really matter. Let's just maybe focus on where we are. So yeah, so my time node is already running. So first of all, you see that by logs, there are like basic and the detailed logs. Basic one basically shows you the information logs, which are what we call like minimum viable logs. So they should deliver you enough information about what's going on in the network, information about the new transaction that appears on the network, on your time node action, so what is doing, what is trying to do, and all this result and so on and so forth. If you get any errors or problems and you wanna, for instance, contact us and ask why this happened, then there is a detailed log which does contains much more of the information about the state and the status of the transaction. So yeah, this is more for the debugging, or if you're like a nerdy guy, you wanna look into a core and how does this work, then you can read that as well. Right. So let's see. So first, what I'm gonna do is that I did prep some scripts that I'm gonna just now keep sending and scheduling transaction in a bulk, so like 5, 10 or more or whatever, we'll see, and then we will observe what's going on the time node, right? So we have, in order to do that, and the kind of the methodology I'm using is that I do have my own local full node on Kovan network, and I'm gonna use it to schedule transactions. So my node is gonna mine the transmit transaction to the network, and then the other nodes will see. So this is, obviously kind of to make this more realistic. And in general, if I would use the same node for the scheduling and watching the transactions, then I will always see all the things like first, right? So just to make it a little bit more realistic, I'm just using different node, and then everyone else is listening on the different nodes as well. So that makes this, a better test. Okay, so what we have here, and you can also find this in the CLI GitHub, is a script called tester.js, and it requires the open local node with unlocked account, and then you specify the amount of transactions you want to schedule. Like in here, you can see 10. Windows start spread is like 5, which means that there will be some like first transaction will be now, next in 5 blocks, and +5, and so on and so forth. It also used some randomization for bounties, just to see and test the other variants and scenarios with the economic strategies. So as a good start, let's just maybe drop 3 transactions of using blocks. It's just going here. So these addresses should appear actually in your time node. So just let me know if you see logs like where are we? Okay, here. Yes, they are now discovered. And a bunch of other things are happened already, but I'm gonna describe you in a second. So what actually happened, that we have 3 transactions that has been discovered, which means this discovered log shows you. And then you can see that at least my time node tried to claim the transaction 098, but it skipped this transaction because some other time node already claimed it. So someone was faster basically, and was, and claimed that transaction. So if your time node claimed this transaction, just let me know in the question box. So maybe some of you just steal or just was faster basically. Then we see going further, right? So going further, we see that the another transaction is like 027 BE, and apparently no one claims it, so we are attempting to claim. That's why you see claiming and 3 dots. What happened next is that we finally was able to claim the transaction. And the other one, okay, and the other one actually has been refused and discovered and not profitable to claim. So apparently my economic strategy says, and we can check it here in settings, that if the deposit is higher than 0.1 ETH, then just don't touch those transactions, because there is some risk if you close your time node or just whatever, have some network malfunction.
Hey guys, seems Peter dropped off for a while. So Anthony speaking. You might know me as Adiba03. I hope you guys are having fun so far. Um, while we wait on Peter's return, uh, we're just gonna have a quick discussion in the question box. So okay, so each asks if you need the claiming mode switched on. So the claiming mode is what allows you be able to basically claim the transactions. So if you do not switch that on, you don't claim transactions, but instead you attempt to execute the transaction when it is time for execution, which then increases the chances for collision with other time nodes who are attempting to execute the same transaction as well. So just gonna go over a few of the transactions I can find in my time node as well, just to ensure that we're all on the same page. Um, okay, I see a question about okay, how do you get to version 0? Okay, 4.2.10. The 4.2.10 is live on app.chronologic.network, which is the browser version. The Electron version will be released uh, in the next day, today to tomorrow. We just released that version a few minutes to hours ago. So that's why the Electron version isn't ready. It will be packaged and sent soon. Um, Martin, nice that you are so experienced already. That's great. Um, okay, yes. So, Carlo, concerning default values, Carlo asks if there are safe default values in order to perform a good claim. So, presently we've set some default values for claiming. These are not optimized as yet, but with time we are going to get the values to be better optimized, such that you would be able to use the values at once to start off. But right now, as they are, the default it uses are good enough and safe, but not necessarily optimized. So we have over 10 transactions. Okay, there's some new transactions coming in. We have 0x13CE. It says someone else claimed. Uh, who is the person who claimed the 0x13C? 0x13CE. Martin, you're on a roll. You're really on a roll. So nice. Okay, so Shanbi asks if you know you're going to go offline or restart your machine, is there any way to release the claims you have scheduled before restarting your machine, or will hitting stop be good enough? Actually, if you hit stop, the app will tell you that you have claimed transactions, and so going offline means that there's the chance that you would lose the transactions. Right now, actually, there is no way for you to revert your claim until after the transaction window has passed. So once you've claimed the transaction, you're in for it. And you have to claim the transaction. Else, if someone you have to execute the transaction. Nice one, Carlo. And you have to execute the transaction. And if you do not execute the transaction and another time that executes it, the person gets your claim, and would you would have lost the claim you used for that transaction. Okay, so
Anthony, thank you.
yes,
Guys,
welcome
you
back.
won't believe it. Yeah, you won't believe it. My internet was just died for some, like, few seconds, and that was like weird. I had to just wait for I don't know what happened. Okay, I just connected back. Let's continue. Um, okay, let's start where we stopped. Yeah, where's my browser? Okay, so I see I need to start this again. Let me quickly just go and unlock. Okay, it keeps loading, so I don't know if that's again some Okay, so guys, let me know if you hear me, because it's like really shaky connection at the moment, so I'm not sure. It keeps loading here. Looks like something wrong again. All right, so my colleague says that I'm back. So for some reason, the TimeNode doesn't really wanna kick. Um, So yeah, I'm gonna show you the other thing. So while the TimeNode is loading, we have the other nice tool just to see the transactions that are, that are actually scheduled by the tool, and then you can see who claimed and who executed, and how long does it take for the execution. So that's a useful monitoring tool that we're using. It does show you, like, there are different time nodes claim different transactions, which is good because anyone has some chance to do that. And then these time nodes were perfectly, because they executed just one block after they supposed to, so basically on point. And my time node, probably because of this issue, just executed 17 blocks after the execution window that started. Let's see what's going on here. I'm gonna restart the Chrome again. I'm not sure what's going on. Yeah, obviously this is the live demo, so some things might happen. Let me just revisit and see. Okay, now should be okay. Let's see. Let's go to TimeNode. Let's try to unlock it. Yep, you see like 15 time nodes. Okay, we back in business. Okay, phew. Let me make it full screen. So yeah, all right. So what happened, guys? So I don't see the other execution logs here because basically I was out, and what I see now that all these transactions that has been scheduled by me before has been finished. So either executed or claimed or waiting for execution. So let's repeat the test. I will now schedule slightly more transactions. So let's see if my okay, I need to restart my Kovan node. I guess it just loses all the peers. Yep, all troubles. Just give me a sec. Yep, and we good to go. So yep, obviously it hangs. Yep, it's there. So I'm using the parity. Let me pick up the newest blocks and find the all right, so it started to syncing. Okay, let's go and let's schedule, for instance, 10 transactions. Let's see how the network will, deal with that. And okay, let's wait. All right, so 10 fresh transactions has been pushed to the network. Let's see what happens here. We have some, okay, so I got some error, undefined. That's not good at all. We'll see what happened that later on. Okay, so for some reason, I'm back on the old version. So that's quite, interesting. That's probably because we are using some load balancers and the CloudFront, I think, to protect, for all the scams and etc. So yeah, my logs will be slightly different. Let me again maybe hard reset that. So let me shift 5. All right. Anyways, so I keep landing on the older version. I think before a reconnection, I was using VPN with some other address. That's why probably I was using different version. So I'm not gonna make a mess with the network situation now again. Just let's continue. So yeah, what's happened next? So I guess some of you already had uh, the transactions happen. So yeah, let me know if your time nodes just get those transactions. I'm just trying to get my question box right back to the screen that I'm having the having this time node view. So yep, there are some questions. So let me maybe just answer them. So is there a command line version of the time node rather than running the browser? Yes. Okay, so that's already answers. Yes, we have the CLI version. You can just check this out. It's slightly different, and maybe some people found it a little bit more complex to run. So yeah, but there is a way you can do that. Why do I see 12 active time nodes? Yes, because there is like, okay, we have 14. So yeah, maybe your time node amount is not refreshed or something, maybe some issues, maybe some small bug. Okay, so do we lose the stats and logs anytime we need to unlock again? Well, yes, at the moment that's the case. We're working on that, and the stats will be for sure persistent. We're not sure about the logs because the problem with logs is that they just keep growing quite fast, and that makes your browsers unresponsive. So we need to try to find some good way to handle that. And at the moment we are keeping the last like 2000 lines or something like that, some limited amount of the logs live. So that's what it is currently. Yep. So do we have more questions regarding the time node? So if we go to the statistics page, so I just restarted, and at the moment there is a known issue that these statistics aren't really like persistent. But let me know if there is someone who actually sees some bounties and cost, and maybe is profitable or not. So what's the situation out there, guys? So, Martin, you said that regarding contracts 13C3, you see execution failed. So yeah, the reason might be that actually that's probably my time node that was off, and then the execution, then the actually the transaction was up to up for grabs for the other time nodes, and actually I lose my deposit because I basically wasn't there probably. So then there is a case where multiple time nodes try to execute the transaction, and the detection of the collisions is unfortunately is imperfect, because it does rely on the mempool and what the node is actually currently seeing. So there are like milliseconds that just matters, and might be that someone else um, sent the transaction while you were checking for the collision. So this is unfortunately a thing that we can't really improve much, although I can tell you that we figured the other way, which looks much more promising, and that's going to be available soon. We're working on that. So instead of basically looking into the mempool, we're going to listen actively for the new blocks and transactions. And by using that, it should be faster than just getting the whole mempool and scanning locally, obviously. So yeah. Okay, guys, I see some of you have something like 3 executions, but actually doesn't see any claimed ether. I see some people have 2 executions and actually bounties, so they seem to be profitable in that case. Yeah, so obviously the goal here is to make everyone like doesn't really look like it doesn't really lose any money for running the time node. Still, this network is like quite unpredictable in a way that if there is like multiple time nodes, they're using different nodes, they're using different providers. It might be that there is some lack of the synchronization, which means that your time node might not see that some other time nodes already claimed or executed, and that happens from time to time. I think week ago, I pushed some results from testing like over weekend, and I pushed like 300 or 500 transactions, and my time node actually have failed like 30 times or like 15 times or 20. I don't remember the numbers, but then succeeded like much more times, which means that obviously I by failing on this transaction I lose some ether, but then overall balance was positive, which is something that is we treat this as a kind of a risk. When you're running the time node, you sometimes might lose a little bit of the ether, but then finally over the long run, we think we should be profitable. So yeah, there is one question: is it better to add more decimals to the balance? Yes, for sure. We actually discussed that today with a team, because that's some people see like zero bounty, zero cost, but this is because there is a rounding error, actually, to be honest. So this is something that we're working on now, and this is a fairly simple change and gonna be for sure available in the next release. So yeah. So yep. So I see Alex says that 3 executions, 0 bounty, 0 cost, but losing either according to Etherscan. So yeah. So if you could post us or contact us after the webinar via the Telegram and send us the address. So and the best case would be if you can send us the detailed log. So I already did that with the other community members today. So you just go select detailed from this session that you have here, probably just select all or something like that, copy paste, save as a text file and send us and contact someone from the team on the Telegram. We will actually see and check, why that might happen. Maybe it's because of the some wrong settings. For instance, today one of the community member doesn't have the claiming enabled. So claiming, you should actually enable the claiming here. And if you don't have it, then you only rely on the execution, not claiming and execution, which in what has been shown today, actually that might lead to some bad performance for the time nodes. Yeah, so sometimes, as I said, with this kind of short sessions, with like a few hours, you might get into because of your connectivity or some other unknown factors. You basically try to claim transaction and you failed, and then you basically have just a cost, which means that you're after this 15 minutes of 20 minutes of running the time node, you just only have a cost, right? So yeah, but in general, I do believe like some people, probably majority is profitable. Some people are little on minus basically. But as I said, and as we did some testing, over the long run it should be fine. But obviously we can't really like 100% guarantee that it's always going to be the case, because some things are not controllable by us. All right, so I think that we are slowly getting into the end of this live stream. So let me know if you have more questions. I'm just more than happy to take them and answer live. And obviously, thank you for hanging with us and running this beta time node on the Kava network. That's really is I think very cool thing, and we definitely gonna at some point repeat this webinar, and with new updated version we can even compare the performance and see how does this work for you guys. Or maybe you want to get into like how to run the time. Maybe next time we're going to run them from the Electron app, just to see, or maybe from the CLI. So anyways, if you have some ideas on what we would like to see on the webinar, just let us know. We have the Telegram channel that most of you, I think, are part of. So yeah, just let's wait for some additional questions. And okay guys, so I see everything is clear. Thank you for your attention. See you the next week. Signing off.